China, Pakistan's all-weather ally, has once again blocked India's proposal at the United Nations to designate Pakistani-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist Abdul Rauf Azhar as a global terrorist under the 1267 Sanctions Committee. Azhar, the deputy commander of the terror organization Jaish-e-Mohammed and the younger brother of the group's founder, Masood Azhar, is well known for his involvement in a number of terrorist attacks in India. A report. China has always defended its client state Pakistan in United Nations. The country, being the close ally of Islamabad, has always created hurdles of known Pakistani terrorists. Recently, China objected a proposal by India to blacklist senior Pakistani-based Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorist Abdul Rauf Azhar as the global terrorist under the 1267 Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. Born in Pakistan in 1974, the terrorist has been involved in planning numerous terror strikes in India, including the hijacking of Indian Airlines aircraft IC-814 in 1999, the attack on the Parliament in 2001, and the targeting of the IAF base in Pathankot in 2016.
You have to realize that China has now become far more blatant than what it used to be. Its recent action on putting a technical hold on Rauf, this is aimed actually against India, because if you look at the other major powers, these terrorists do not act against the other major powers, they act only against India. And China has made its position vis-a-vis India very clear when it comes to actions, if not in words. So I'm not surprised at all. China is trying to use Pakistan agencies, the actions of Pakistan agencies to destabilize India, to keep India perpetually off balance. This has been their strategy for a long period of time.
Beijing, going on by past pattern, typically places a technical hold on India-related proposals at the 1267 committee just before the deadline to raise objections to lapse. Last year, China had put a technical hold on a number of proposals by India and other Western countries to target Pakistan-based terrorists for UN sanctions. In June last year, China had put a hold on joint proposal by India and the US to designate Abdul Rahman Makki, the deputy chief of Pakistan-based terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba, under the 1267 Sanctions Committee. In August, Beijing vetoed India and the United States' bid to designate Pakistani terrorist Sajid Mir as the global terrorist under the 1267 Al-Qaeda Sanctions Committee. Mir is India's most wanted terrorist and the main handler of the 26/11 Mumbai attacks, which shook the entire world. China put a hold on the Lashkar chief commander's UN terror designation after Islamabad detained and sentenced him for 15 years under terror financing charges earlier in 2022. Observers believe that China is misusing its status as a permanent member of the UN Security Council in order to stop Pakistan-based terrorists on the UN Security Council Sanctions Committee for Al-Qaeda and ISIL-Daesh.
The Chinese tactics vis-a-vis putting blacklisting of terrorists on hold in conjunction with with Pakistan is a jugalbandi two countries have perfected for a long period of time. So you have a situation where the world can no longer ignore the activities of a particular terrorist and wants to take formal action on it. Formal action also means branding, de facto branding the country from which that person operates. So here Pakistan's fair weather friend comes into play and prevents that from happening on technical grounds. Now, this is a task that Pakistan has taken for itself for a long period of time.
Numerous terrorist organizations including Al-Qaeda, Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba are active in Pakistan. Pakistan has praised its own efforts to prevent terrorism in a variety of international forums, including the United Nations and the Financial Action Task Force. Moreover, despite the fact that Pakistan was removed from the grey list of terror funding and money laundering after 4 years on the list, the country continues to provide sanctuary, money, and training to terrorist groups.